So here we go. We're gonna ask Ira a few questions tonight, okay? First question, was there a moment or something that happened in which you knew that this would be a career for you?
Yes. I was 22 and I had just dropped out of college in Boston and moved back to Montana and broke up with my boyfriend. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
And so then I was feeling kind of lost, as most 22-year-olds, I think, are. But I knew my entire life I always wanted to do music. And I had been starting songwriting a little bit and playing guitar a little bit and performing at like open mics and, you know, that kind of thing. And I kind of just decided I wanted to do it full time, but I wasn't sure how to do that in Montana. So I decided to leave and narrowed down my choices to Nashville, Tennessee, and Portland, Oregon. And I flipped a coin and it landed on Nashville. And I think that coin toss was probably like the defining moment where I was like, okay, I'm moving to Nashville and I'm going to be a musician and that's going to be my life, hopefully.
Yeah. How was it in Nashville? Like, what was it like knowing that everybody that's waiting your table at Chili's is trying to do the same thing that you're doing? Like, it's everywhere, right?
It's super intimidating. Yeah, I mean, everyone in Nashville is incredibly talented. And I think the first couple months there, I had that where it was like everyone just was like this terrifying person to me, where I was like, everybody's better, and I'm like this little Montana hick or something. But then it became more inspiring than anything, because all of my friends that I made were just phenomenal musicians, and then I would go to shows and get ideas for songs, or just it became really motivating and inspirational for me to be surrounded by that kind of influence all the time.
Yeah, I'm going off script a little bit, but do you have to move to Nashville to make it in music? Like, do you have to leave Northwest Arkansas or leave Montana?
I don't think so. I think it's like I think it depends on what you want to do. I think for me it was a really good move. I think I just needed that change of pace because I'm so in love with Montana. But every time I'm there, I'm like, all I want to do is climb mountains and ski and just hang out in the woods. Yeah. And so it was really hard for me to stay in the like music business up there, I think. And I mean, there weren't as many opportunities for a singer-songwriter there. So I think it helped. For me personally, it was a really, really good move. But I think that I've seen a lot of people have success, you know, staying in little tiny towns and building their fan base there and then spreading out from there.
Awesome, cool. What is some of the challenges? What are some of the challenges to creating original music?
I think the biggest challenge for me is the songwriting, or not the songwriting, but sharing the songwriting. Because for me, all my songs are, as you've probably noticed, fairly personal. And that can be a really terrifying moment when you're like, this is you at your most vulnerable. I never intended to be a songwriter. I always loved performing and loved singing, but I didn't ever write. That was just kind of my little private journal. And then at some point, I played a song for somebody and they connected with it, and that was a cool feeling. But it's still, every time I get up and kind of dump my personal stuff on everybody, that's the scariest thing for me.
So is that where all of your original music comes from, is just personal stories and experiences? Like, is that what drives what you're doing?
There's maybe 2 or 3 that were just, I have no idea where, like the one I started off with tonight, it's called Baby. I have no idea what that song is about or where it came from. That one just happened, but for the most part, it started out as like a passive-aggressive thing. It was like, here's all this stuff that I want to say to a certain person, and I don't know how, or I never got the chance, and so I just put it into song. Yes. And then, I think it kind of just went from there to where anything that happened, any kind of like really deep, meaningful personal experience, it was like, oh, I need to express this.
So
somehow.
All your friends are listening to Ira Wolf songs, and they're like, is that about me?
Oh, totally.
Is Ira trying to like tell me?
I've had a couple like messages where people are like, so that's pretty specific. Like, you used my name, so.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, what is it like? You play probably you're in a brew room tonight. I mean, all different types of venues, all different types of audiences. How much does the audience contribute to a great show, like a great concert, like you being able to give your best?
I think way more than an audience knows they contribute. I'm gonna get a little like hippy dippy on you here, but there's a definite energy to performing for me, and I think because it is again that like personal sharing, and when the audience is just kind of like looking at you dead or like looking at their phone, that like I take that really personally, I guess, and so that like affects me, and maybe that's why I close my eyes half the time, because I'm like, oh, maybe they're not paying attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, when people are really into what you're doing, for some reason that like elevates the energy, and I've definitely noticed that for every show that I've played, when the audience is really into it, it makes it a lot easier to perform and get into the songs for what they mean.
Great. Well, hey, welcome to Brewroom Sessions. We're glad you guys are here tonight. Let's enjoy Ira and everything that you got. You're doing a great job tonight. We're really enjoying it. So just bring it and let us enter into your story. It's great.
Thanks for having me.
Everybody give it up for Ira.
Thank you. Okay, so you guys remember Ruby from earlier? This song I wrote in the back of Ruby when I was out in the desert in California, and I had just gone snorkeling on the coast and I didn't wear sunscreen, which ended up with such a bad sunburn that I got sun poisoning, and that's terrible. If you don't know what it is, Google it. But I ended up with sun poisoning and was in the back of the van. The AC had just gone out. I'd been alone for about 4 months at that point, so I was in a really good place mentally. And I was laying in the back of the van, and I was like, this is where I die. This is the end for me. So I thought I better write a song before I go. And this is what I came up with. It's the first single off my new record. It's called Sunscreen. I want someone to remind me to wear sunscreen, take my vitamins when it slips my mind. I want someone who knows how I like my coffee and wants to share a bed for more than a night. But I'm stubborn, selfish, easily jealous at times. I'm hard to love, and I just want someone to try. I want someone who knows that I'm not made for mornings and doesn't scold me for smoking when I drink. I want someone who listens when they've heard the story and gives me enough space to breathe. 'Cause I'm stubborn, selfish, easily jealous at times. I'm hard to love, and I just want someone to try. To try. I want someone who can ground me when I'm too high and light up the dark side of my head. I want someone to share my coffee, my sunscreen, my mornings, my stories, and my bed. Someone stubborn, selfish, and easily jealous would be fine. I won't mind if they're hard to love. I just want someone to try. Thank you very much. So I've been touring full-time now for about 3.5 years, which is a total dream come true. It's what I wanted to do my whole life, and it's amazing to be doing it. This never feels like work, so it's cool to say that I'm working right now. But I've been able to travel a lot. I've seen every state in the country except for Alaska, which I will get next summer. But I've been to all these wonderful, beautiful places, and nothing quite compares to Montana yet, but still some really, really cool places out there. But the problem with seeing all these wonderful spots is that I kind of fall in love with each one a little bit, and then I have to leave. And so it's just this perpetual homesick feeling. And I was in Arizona. I was staying at a friend's apartment, and I was noticing that she had like decorated all of her walls, and she had like pictures and paintings and all these artistic things. And at the time, I was basing out of Nashville and living in an attic that didn't have any insulation, let alone like photos. And I was thinking that, you know, I've just never really settled at all. I've been on the road so much that I've never made a home anywhere. And that was kind of what this song was about. It's another one from the new record, and it's called Pictures on a Wall. I've climbed the mountains in Montana, danced in the lights of New Orleans. Portland ran away with me, and San Francisco stayed with me. Nashville made its way in between. Fell in love in Minnesota, fell apart south of Salt Lake. Colorado calls to me, and Washington will always be begging for a piece of me to stay. Maybe some things never change, but I wanna know how it feels to hang pictures on a wall and sleep in the same bed at night. I want reasons to stay, I want someone to take up my time and miss me when I go. Swam the beaches on the west coast and climbed the trees of Caroline. I felt the city streets of Boston underneath my feet. I've heard the sound of subways down the line. Walked the lakesides of Wisconsin and bathed in springs of Idaho. And I could use a day or two, or even just an afternoon, getting myself lost in Chicago. I'm homesick for it all, 'cause I wanna know how it feels to hang pictures on a wall and sleep in the same bed at night. I want reasons to stay, I want someone to take up my time. Miss me when I go. I wanna home. 'Cause I've traveled across this country wide, and I feel there must be something more to find. 'cause I feel it more the further that I get. So the wheels are pointed west, till I know how it feels to hang pictures on a wall, sleep in the same bed at night. I want reasons to stay, I want someone to take up my time. Miss me when I go, I'll find reasons to stay.